Hello, my name is Lamar Kane. Some of you may know me from my other channel, Lamar Kane is K-Pop. Now, when I began that, I think it was early 2021, I believe. We had just moved to Colorado from Georgia, and I started that channel with a much different view of what I was going to do with that channel. But sometime in August, I believe it was, I really jumped down the rabbit hole of K-pop, which opened up my love for dancing again. So I started dancing and singing along to the K-pop songs that I really, really liked. Now, one thing about the K-pop was that it gave me hope. From what I had seen of K-pop and what I have still seen of K-pop, it's full of very strange ideas or hope-filled ideas, breaking the barriers of what we think is possible sometimes and giving us the hope that we can win out overall. Now, I really like that. I feel like that with me, I need my music to be filled with hope, and that's the kind of music that I want to make. So finding a genre where there is plenty of that to be found, plus the talent that be found there, and the videos are superb, I just fell into the hole and I started dancing again, which is really great because it's something that I've been doing off and on for years. It's something that I find therapeutic and I really love doing it. So that being said, when I started that channel, I really wanted to discuss with people my physical or the idea of physical, mental, and spiritual health. I came here to Colorado from a place where I was very physically sick, and I figured out it was probably molds. Mentally, I was over it, and spiritually, I was stove up. And that's a grandmother term. It just meant that I felt like I had been put in a box for a long time, and I needed to be aired out. So when I came here, I wanted to start putting those things in order. So I promptly started trying to lose weight as well as adjust to the altitude here. And thank goodness my allergies are just not near what they were in Georgia here. So that's why I think that it's more mold related than anything, because there's a lot of molds there, and here it's quite dry. So I came here with the idea that I was going to free myself, make myself spiritually, mentally, and physically more free than I've ever been. Because when you find yourself in your lifetime, you keep getting put in these ideas of yourself, daughter, son, mother, sister, all of these titles, worker, friend, all of these titles, but none of them actually fit what you are. They are just small portions of who you are and things you display. So I am here and will be here to discuss those things. So that being said, I thought that I should, in lieu of all of this, do a get to know me, a small way of knowing what led to my mystical progression throughout my life, because all of it is important. From the fact that my mom married my dad when she was 14 and my dad was 17. I know, even back then it wasn't done much, but those were the facts. She married my dad, and they promptly had my brother 9 months later, then my sister little more than a year later, and then me 11 days before my sister's first birthday. The doctor hadn't seen the beat of it. They could not find a method that worked to control their birth. My older sister was conceived while my mom was on the pill. So her first three was had real fast, even though she wanted a couple of years between us all. But that being the case, I was the third of 5. I was the middle child. Now, when my mom was pregnant with me, my dad went into the Air Force. because I think that he felt like he really needed a good way to provide for his family. He was 20 years old, and he had 3 children. And my mom, well, she was busy working day and night, taking care of 3 young children. You know, all of them still kind of in diapers. And so it was very difficult for her because she was barely above a child herself, to be frank. So that was my beginning. And then 2.5 years later, they had my sister Joy, and then another 3.5 years later, they had my baby sister Anna, and she is 6 years and a week younger than me. And that ended their saga in having kids, though they wanted 6. My mom, who had a C-section with my baby sister Anna, had her tubes tied with the 5th child. So that, being a middle child, that really formed a lot of the way I was. Well, that and empathy. I had a boatload of empathy. I remember being frightened, like just frightened of strangers. And I don't mean like they were going to carry me off, just always wanting to cry. Like when like an older person came up, or if someone who was feeling emotionally upset came up to my father, who at some point became a pastor, and I'll talk more about that later, to ask for his guidance. Well, I would be there, and I would not really like being there. I wouldn't want to be there, and that was because I didn't understand the feelings I was feeling off of these people. I didn't understand their pain levels. I didn't understand anything about that. I was just a child. So I remember hiding behind his leg and crying and just not wanting to meet strangers. You know, hard enough in my own family, but I didn't really want to meet strangers. So that was pretty difficult for me. But that being said, I had a very happy life, you know. 5 kids. We had a lot of fun. Lots of cousins. So I had a very happy childhood, even though I came from a poor family. My father, he left the Air Force, and when my baby sister Anna was like 6 months, an unfortunate accident, my baby sister Joy drowned, and I'll talk more about that and its effect on my family, on myself, and the people around me as time goes on. But that's a little bit about my life. Now, we were brought up fairly poor, and I never had my own room. Yep, you heard that. Never had my own room. I went from sharing with my older sister or my baby sister to sharing with my husband. And you know what? I don't think I ever really missed that. I don't recall ever lamenting the fact that I never had my own room. I don't know that I would have known what to do with my own room if I did have it. So, you know, I don't remember that being a difficulty in my life. There were a lot of difficulties, but that wasn't one of them. And that was a small portion of who I am and my life. Just a smidgen of a get to know me that I will further out in another couple of videos as I start hitting on points where things started getting strange in my life. Now, whoops, sorry about that. Dry throat. Thank you guys for listening. And I hope to see you soon. But if I don't see you here on the video, I'll see you in dream. Take care. Love you from the bottom of my heart temple. Bye-bye.